Hi, I'm Tanya with Tanya Barron's Real Estate Group.
I'm Greg Anderson with Caliber Home Loans. I think Renton has gotten a bad name. I've lived in Renton for over 50 years.
50.
So I know. So yeah, literally, I feel like people have been bad-mouthing Renton for many, many years, and a lot of it is just unfounded, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, there's the downtown area got a little rough for a little while. Some of the buildings need to be revitalized, but like you said, that's happening. We got the Rain City Market. We have a lot of new shops down there, restaurants. There's Macadons or something that just opened.
Macadons is opening.
Like, you know, they've got the arcade down there for the kids. Like, there's a lot of good things happening down in that area. The Landing, I mean, Top Golf. And now we're hearing that Amazon Fresh is coming in. So we're getting a lot of attention from the top stores and venues and things like that in Renton. And I think, look, the whole 405 corridor and eventually the I-5 corridor is just going to fill in.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going to keep filling in with city after city after city. And Bellevue is really close to Renton. Bellevue is getting maxed out. People are just going to have to go either south or they're going to have to go north. So far, and historically, people have chosen to go north, which is why property values in Kirkland are higher and that type of thing. As they start pushing south, because now you have to go further north to get the same price of home, to get the same price of commercial space and all that, people are going to say, you know what, Renton's not that bad. We're going to move down here. Mm-hmm. Like you, I mean, you've lived here your whole life too. Like, we're just fine going to schools, you know, down here in Renton and everything like that. Like, I think a lot of people just believe the anecdotal stories of whether that's crime or maybe say the schools aren't as good. I don't really buy into that. So
no.
I think Renton's a great spot.
Yeah, I'm actually writing a chapter for a real estate book, and we're talking about Renton, just the perceptions that people have had about Renton. I was talking about how passionate I am to change that, and I think it's just, I don't know, I've always kind of fought for the underdog and just want to be like, no, we are greater than you guys assume. But honestly, there was some times where there wasn't too much to tout about Renton, but I definitely think that's changing. One of the things I really like about Renton too is that I think it's one of the most centrally located cities that you could live in. So you commute to Bellevue, 20 minutes, on a good day, 20 minutes, maybe at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Depends on what time.
Yeah, and what part of Renton. But you quick commute to Seattle. If you work south in Auburn or Tacoma, you're right by the airport. Multitudes of shopping from Tukwila or South Center all the way to Bellevue Square, and then again the Landing with everything that we have going on there. I think it's great. And then the more I've really dove in, even though born and raised here, but obviously doing what I'm doing now, I'm learning so much more about Renton, right? And it just warms my heart about all the activities that we have. I mean, every single day, if you look at my social media, it's another, pop by here, come here. And I mean, I don't know enough about all the other cities if they do that, but they're really trying to be community focused and just meeting everybody that cares so much out there. It's a really great place to be.
I think that the people that live in Renton and have been around Renton for a long time, they definitely have a lot of passion for the city. The Renton River Days is a big deal. Just the fact that Renton as a city has been progressive enough to try to change. The city leadership is really trying to change that. They're looking at what stores they're bringing in, what businesses they're bringing into town, and making sure that those align with the ultimate goals. And like, hey, we have the only Top Golf in the state of Washington.
I know.
That's a big deal, right? They could have put that in Seattle. They could have put that in Bellevue. They could have put that anywhere. They decided to put it down there at the Renton Landing, and that's going to take off. And as a golfer, I'm really excited about that. We have another golf course that's owned and operated by the city of Renton, Maplewood Golf Course. And then there's a private country club in Renton as well, Fairwood. So there's lots of amenities that people don't know about, and they just don't give themselves a chance because they're on 405 and they cruise through the S-curves, and all of a sudden they're in Tukwila and they totally blinked and missed Renton.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, speaking of Fairwood, that's where you live.
Yep.
And I've actually met a lot of small business owners. It's pretty exciting. I don't know if you've been to the new strip where the Four Corners merchants and stuff, but they're coming up, and there's going to be an espresso bar there.
Yep.
So that little nook that was just kind of overlooked for a long time is starting to really get some cool stuff in there as well.
Yeah, it is. That shopping center, so of course that wasn't there when I was a little kid. We used to ride our bikes on that piece of land. But that shopping center has gone through a couple of changes, right? So it came up, it had Albertsons in there and had quite a few good shops. And then of course, everything goes through changes. And so Albertsons shut down, and then when you lose that flagship store like that, then the other tenants sometimes struggle. And so they've turned over, but I'm really excited about the stuff that's coming in there now.
Yeah.
There's a new Mod Pizza up there. There's a new Starbucks. They moved the Starbucks. And there's really some great stuff up there that people, again, don't know if they don't live there on that plateau. But it's not that far from Renton, from other parts of Renton, to go up there and visit those stores either. So it's a great spot.
You know, what's funny is my family actually owned a Sweet Harmony Bible bookstore that was up there years ago.
Oh, really?
And I actually always forget about it. And my mom was laughing because it was basically, I think it was right by Fairwood Nails. It's somewhere right there by Hudson Photography was there way back, 30 years back.
So there was a breezeway in there, and there was Dahlstrom's Video.
I remember.
There was Dahlstrom's Video. There was a candy store called Oh Fudge. There was a popcorn place that had all the different flavors of popcorn called Popcorn Patties.
My favorite.
I know, it was so good. And then the bookstore, right? The bookstore was all in that breezeway. That is now, I would venture to say, that's probably LA Fitness.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to remember. I was young, obviously.
Right.
Not obviously, but.
But yeah, so there was a couple of breezeways up there. There used to be an ice cream store which now got gobbled into Safeway, but it was called the Big Scoop. That was always a favorite when I was a kid. We had the Fairwood Pharmacy, which is now Bartell's.
I remember,
And the Fairwood Pharmacy was a big family-owned pharmacy that had lots of gifts and stuff like that, of course, in addition. So that was tough to see them change.
Yeah.
I mean, Bartell's is great. They're a locally owned chain, but that Fairwood Pharmacy was like really cool to have in the neighborhood, because if you forgot your mom on Mother's Day, go up there and there's a nice gift there. So
yeah, it was kind of like a Bartell's meets Hallmark, but
right. So lots of different iterations. You mentioned Hudson Photography was up there, and they moved out, but I know Bruce and Josh are still around.
Yep.
So I see them from time to time, and it's just cool. I think there's a lot of people that don't know about Fairwood. By the way, one of the only Shakey's pizzas.
I was just going to say, I've been there a lot
in
lately.
the state of Washington. So Shakey's Pizza is one of our favorites, but it's just been cool to see all the changes go through, including me.
Yeah.
Changes in me. So
we started going to Shakey's after T-ball, and now my son does not think that's you just go play video games and eat food. Like that's what you do. And so if there's a place that doesn't have that, then he's not interested.
It's still the old school pizza place where you went there, you ate some pizza, drank some pop, but then you played video games is really what you did. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool to see that they're still holding it down.
Yeah, definitely.